So today I'm going to be installing and showing you everything that you need to know about this this TV mount right here. The great thing about this is you can see this is one that you can mount on one single stud. This is perfect for where I'm at right now because there's only one stud coming through right here. So we're going to go through, install this, tell you everything that you need to know about it, and put the TV on it. Now, as far as what this comes with, you have the actual mount itself. This is the bracket that goes onto the TV. You have the screws and everything to go through and mount it. There are extenders here, so this will fit pretty much every single TV. You may or may not need to use these depending on your TV type. There is a level here, which is really nice, and there's a little mounting template, which is good. You can go through and use this to mark where your holes are that you're going to be putting the mount on, and then there are the step-by-step instructions. Okay, so I already have my stud found. I know that it's running across here. So what I'm gonna do is just go through and hang this paper up. I poke some holes in where each of these are at, and then we're just gonna go through, got it where I want it, the measurements. I'm gonna make sure this is level right here, and that is looking good. And then what I'm gonna do is go through and mark with my pen. So I'm just gonna go through and drill holes where we marked here. And now what we can do is take this little part right here. You'll notice there's a little mounting bracket or a little thing to just kind of make it look clean. We're gonna take that off. We're gonna grab one of these big screws here. It does have wall anchors as well in case you aren't going to hit a stud, but I do highly recommend going into the stud. We're gonna put this on this way. Now make sure this little arrow is pointing up when you are putting this on. And I'm doing this by myself, so it's a little bit more tricky, but we're gonna put it through this first hole here. And then we are going to stick that in there. And a little loose there, but we're gonna go through and put the other ones in to make sure it's tight. And once you have this first one up, it's a good idea to go through and make sure that this is level, make sure it's in the right spot. And now for the final two screws here. Okay, so you can see we have this in here now, a little bit of sawdust there. We are level, and then now we can go through and put this thing back. So you just go through and put this right here, and then this just kind of snaps back on. Now, before I get the TV on here, I want to show you just how versatile this thing is. So you can see, obviously, you can go through and just mount it and have it out this way, or you can go through and tilt it, this thing left or right. You can see there are screws right here where if you go through and loosen that, you can tilt it up and down. You can go through and push this all the way to the wall over this way if you wanted to, or you can go through and push it to the wall all the way over here if you wanted to as well. And then on top of that, if you wanted it to lay completely flat, you can go through over here, and then you can just go through and put this to the wall like this, and then this can go all the way there, so it can go pretty flush to the wall, as you can see. And you can see this is what the mounting plate looks like. So you see I've already gone through and added some of the extenders here. I'm gonna go through and add more. Basically the way that these work is you go through and you stick them in just like this, and you can see there's holes that line up. So you can either go this way with them. There's all sorts of different ways that you can mount this, and it will fit pretty much any TV. So no matter what your TV, this will make it work. What you wanna do is make sure this Amazon Basics is facing towards the TV, and there's a little up arrow, and make sure that that's going up. So, and it comes just with these little screws to go through and put these in here. So I'm gonna go through and finish putting them on here and here. Now we're gonna go through and screw these in right here. So now we're gonna go through and put these washer and this screw in here, and they have tons of different options for the screws depending on how your TV is laid out, whether it's a curved monitor or anything like that. You see, that's why you're gonna have a lot of extra hardware once this is all done, just to make sure that they made sure that you have it. This will pretty much fit any single TV. So find the washer and screw that is appropriate for your TV, and then go through and screw it in. Now we're ready to lift this up on here, and you can see there's two little screw holes right here where we're going to take these two screws and put them in right here. This is going to kind of rest on this place. It's recommended you have two people for this, but right now I'm one person. So we're going to attempt to do this, lift it on here by myself. Just going to go through. Stick that on there. And now we're going to go through and put the screws in these two holes right here. Okay, so you can see I went through and got one screw in there already, so now I'm gonna go through and just screw in this other one. Okay, and you can see this is what it looks like when it's actually on. This is how it looks on the wall. Now, of course, as I showed before, you can go through and move this thing pretty much any kind of direction, and if you wanted it to go up, you can see I have it pointing slightly down. If you wanted it more on an up angle or a flat angle, you can go through and unscrew these and move this joint over here. So I'm really impressed with the versatility of this mount, one that I would certainly recommend.